Welcome to the War on Wellness. I am your host, Penny McPherson, and I'm here on Wednesdays for the War on Wellness at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So thank you for joining me on my Facebook page, my personal page, my business page, my group, and on YouTube. So I have loaded the videos on YouTube. So please go over to YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Plant Based Penny. Thank you so much. So I know that Facebook is gathering my audience, but so hello to everybody who's in the replay. If you're watching a replay, say hello. If you're watching live, say live so I know which one you are. Today, we're going to be talking about kind of going along with my previous theme of high blood pressure. And we're going to be talking about alternatives to salt. Yes, we're talking about alternatives to salt, decreasing our sodium intake and increasing our minerals. Okay, so thank you for joining me. And I have a question for all those who have joined me today on all of the different platforms. So, the salt issue. Do you know anyone with high blood pressure? Put a yes in the chat or put a Y in the chat. And put a no if you do not know anyone with high blood pressure. So Americans, those in the United States, eat a lot, consume a lot of salt. We eat a lot of salt. And well, why do you think that is? Why do you think that we eat so much salt? I mean, I don't think that people are pouring in their hands and eating it, although as a kid, I did do that at some point. We would put salt on cucumbers. Some people put salt on watermelon. Do you put salt on watermelon or any fruit? I can't think of any other fruit that people put salt on. But if you know of one, put that in the comments. But the people in the United States. So here is your question. Do we eat the ideal amount of salt? If so, put a 1. Or do you think that we eat 2 times the amount of salt? Put a 2. Or if you think we eat 3 times the amount of salt, put a 3 in the chat. 1 is ideal. 2, if you think we eat twice as much. Or 3, if you think we eat 3 times the amount of sodium. So the question is for us, so why is it necessary to reduce our salt? I mean, you might be saying, I'm fine. I don't have blood pressure problems or anything like that. Is there any other reason that I need to even be concerned about my salt intake? Well, I'm glad you asked. And the answer is yes, C. Most definitely, it is necessary in whatever language you say. Somebody says that we eat 5 times the amount of sodium. Well, there might be some people who eat 5 times the amount of salt. Just depends on what their diet is. And so the answer to the question is that in the United States, America, people eat twice the amount of salt that is necessary for their daily intake. And so the average Americans eat about 3,400 milligrams, and 1,500 is the ideal limit. Actually, less than 2,300 is what the American Heart Association recommends. I recommend 1,500 if you have a problem with your blood pressure, most definitely. So why? So the question is why? 1, if you eat too much salt, salt helps balance your fluids in your body. Too much salt and it can't balance the fluids, and then you end up bloated. So you end up bloated. Or for women, you may end up having menstrual discomfort. You don't want any of those. So that's one of the reasons. The other reason is salt can dehydrate your skin, which produces wrinkles, which makes you look older than you want to look. So that is not unless you're like maybe 15 or 16 or 10 or something like that. Sometimes people do want to look older than they are. Most of the time, when you get over 25 or 30, you're not trying to look older. So we want to mind our salt intake because it can increase wrinkles. And if we decrease the salt intake, it can be better looking skin for us. So when we're hydrated, we're more plump. The skin is more plump and it's more fuller, and it is fuller and smoother therefore. So that's why you look a little younger if so. And there's a third reason, but let me just make sure I am not missing anyone. Hello, Diana. How are you? Good to see you. And hello, Alex, as well. I'm going to say hello to Brenda and Lynn. Yes, wonderful. Thank you all for watching, and thank you for those who are watching on the replay as well. So the other reason is it can overwork your kidneys. So if you have too much, if you're eating too much salt, your kidneys cannot eliminate all of the extra. So that makes your heart work harder, and that's where we get the increased pressure when your heart is working harder. So it leads to heart disease, which can lead to stroke, which can lead to kidney disease. So in the standard American diet, which you may have heard me say before, which is SAD, SAD, standard American diet or Western diet, the salt that is eaten is not the table salt. It is a table salt, but the majority of the salt that is eaten, 70% of it, is found in processed food, processed and packaged foods, and restaurant food. Most definitely. Did you know that even in most restaurants, they salt the salads? So they would like soak the lettuce in some ice water, and it's salted ice water. So you just never know. You could be if you're not making your own food. And it's definitely important to make sure that you are reading the labels of the food that you are buying, because it may taste really good, but it may be loaded with salt. So just try to pick one that has a little bit lower quantity of salt. So what can we do instead of salt? That is the question. What else can we do if we don't want to be in that category? Somebody said 5 times what is recommended, or so we average about twice as much than what is recommended. So some of the herbs, let me know. I want you to list in the comments any herbs that you cook with, or if you're not a cook, you can list some herbs that you're familiar with. So list some herbs, and I'm going to introduce you while you do that to a salt that a lot of people might call vegan salt, but it's not actually a vegan salt. It's actually a salt that a lot of vegans use. And so thank you to my friend Luana for sharing this salt with me. This is Himalayan black salt. Let's see if you can see that. And Himalayan black salt, it has 84 trace minerals in it. So that's the one thing we want to do. We want to increase the minerals of the food that we eat, because we want to make sure that we're adding nutrients to our body, because then our bodies can manage all of the processes with all of the systems of our body, with all of the 7 detoxification systems that we have in our body temple. And so the black salt, it has an egg-like taste. And so it has subtle sulfuric aroma, and a lot of people use it in India and in Asia in their cuisine as well. And a lot of vegans, some people call it vegan salt, because a lot of vegans use it because it mimics the taste of eggs. So when I make potato salad, and vegan, of course, with no eggs. And so, sometimes you miss the taste of certain things, but I'm fine with it, with that, not having it. But my friend introduced me. I remember the salt, but I just never tried it. So I used it in potato salad, and my husband's like, "Oh my goodness, this is so good. This is really good." And so it really does mimic the taste of eggs. And we had a friend stay with us who's allergic to eggs. And so I'm like, "Oh, no problem. There's no eggs in this house. You're going to be safe." Okay. and I used the salt, not thinking about it. And therefore, uh, she it bothered her because it smelled like salt and it smelled like eggs, that is. But there are no eggs, there are no meat byproducts, there's no dairy, nothing in it. It is just black salt. So if you are plant-based and you want to get some of this, it has the minerals in it, and you can order it off Amazon. Himalayan black salt is what it's called. Okay, very good. All right, I have some answers to my question, which is what herbs and spices do you use? Okay, I have oregano, I have salt, I have celery seeds, and basil. Very good. Chinese 5-spice. Okay. You may want to read the label. Make sure that you're reading the label of everything that you buy to make sure, even the spices, because sometimes the spices have salt as well. And so, like for instance, garlic salt, garlic powder. They sell garlic powder, but they sell it with salt. They sell onion powder, but they sell it with salt. So you just want the actual seasoning, the actual herb, since we're trying to make sure that we do not eat too much as far as the sodium is concerned. We're trying to decrease that as well. Okay. So one of them that you all did say is that you can use in your diet celery when you're cooking. So definitely using celery is one of the things that will help our palate. And so that's actually a vegetable, not actually an herb, but okay, we'll go to vegetables. Since you went there, vegetables and fruits. Garlic, chives, lime, pineapple, ginger, celery. So a lot of times when people cook meat, sometimes you see they put pineapple on top, or sometimes they do it on top of sweet potatoes. But it is adding a different flavor profile. It is adding to the complexity of the dish. Celery, especially if you cook that and use that in your stock, you don't have to worry about using those bouillon cubes, which are full of salt. Lime also mimics the taste of salt on the tongue as well. It's an acquired taste. And you have to practice with these things so that you can get used to them. Garlic definitely also enhances the flavor profile. Now for herbs, I'm growing outside now some oregano and rosemary and cilantro and mint. Yes, I'm growing all those outside, and all of those help in increasing the flavor profile of food so you don't have to use as much salt. The other things that I'm not growing are thyme. Oh, I am growing thyme. Yes, I am. I forgot about that. I'm growing winter thyme, but sage. I don't have sage. If anyone wants to give me a sage plant or some sage seeds, I'll take those. Okay. And the other thing that I'm growing is basil. I forgot about that. Yes, basil. Love it. Fresh basil. If you smell it, it's just it's so aromatic. Absolutely amazing. So those are the herbs and fruits and vegetables. Then spices. Cayenne pepper, which is hot, but you can just use just a little bit to season with chili pepper. Now, I am one who I don't like spicy. Paul, my husband, loves spicy. We are also growing jalapeno peppers outside because he loves spicy. He can just eat them. Me, I'm not. So the compromise for me when I cook is using chili pepper, and then he can add his cayenne, or he can add his hot peppers to the top of his dishes. So, nutmeg and turmeric are also two other really great spices that you can use that enhance the flavor profile of your food so that you can use less salt. And as well as that, you can also use cinnamon. Yes, cinnamon. You believe that? Cinnamon is another really good medicinal herb that you can use in your food, as well as smoked paprika. Oh my goodness, yes. I've been using paprika for I don't even know how long, but when I discovered smoked paprika, I have not gone back to regular paprika. You have to try it. It adds a whole nother depth of flavor for your food. So I am going to let that be the amount that I want to share with you as far as the alternatives. So those were the alternatives with fruits, vegetables, spices, herbs, and knowing why is important. So here is the bonus, okay? The bonus is that on next Wednesday on the 13th, we're going to have a webinar right here on eliminating toxicity from your body, because we have a lot to do to work on our bodies to eliminate toxicity. I need to do it. You need to do it. We breathe toxic air. Some of us dry clean clothes that have chemicals, or wash our clothes with chemicals. We eat food that's chemicals. Some foods even say it's GMO on the packages, and other foods may have pesticides, and there's just so many opportunities and reasons that we need to eliminate toxicity from our bodies. So that webinar is going to be on next Wednesday, the 13th of September at 6:00 p.m. in place of this broadcast. But I look forward to seeing you there. And I'm going to help you with simple and effective methods so that you can look, live, and feel well. Please contact me on any of my social media pages if you have any questions. Instagram, Plant-Based Penny Life, and also on Facebook, and also on YouTube, Plant-Based Penny. So thank you for joining. I'm Penny, your host, also known as Plant-Based Penny, and it is my hope that I can help you with my passion and helping you move from problems to progress with plant-based solutions. So thank you for joining. If you're watching live, put live. If you're watching on the replay, put replay, and we will see you next time. Stay tuned.